So good day, everyone. We are the group one. Today, we will discuss the philosophical perspective of art. So art is a fundamental form of human expression, allowing people to convey emotions, ideas, and cultural values. So throughout history, philosophers have explored the nature and purpose of art, which has led to various perspectives on how art should be understood and interpreted. Um, kanang next slide, please. So, thank you. So, the branch of philosophy that studies art is called aesthetics, which examines questions of beauty, meaning, and artistic value. So, one major perspective in the mimetic theory of art is also known as art representation. Next slide. The term mimesis come from Greek meaning to imitate. This theory sees art as reflection of reality. According to Plato and Aristotle, art captures the world we live in, including what we see, feel, and experience in daily life. So Plato argued that art is simply a copy of reality, while Aristotle believed that imitation is a natural and valuable act that helps people learn and better understand the world. So art becomes meaningful when it mirrors human experience, nature, or society. Realism in art allows people to relate to life, and art can reveal truth through its reflection of the world around us. So, next slide. Please connect slide. Let us look at some Filipino artists who embody the mimetic theory of art or art as representation. First one is Benedicto Bencab Cabrera, born in 1942, and is well known for his Sabel series. These paintings focus on a woman named Sabel, often depicted in vulnerable or contorted postures. Through her expressions and surroundings, Ben Cab reflects the struggles and resilience of ordinary Filipinos, making the work a mirror or real life human experiences. Next is Romeo Tabuena, 1921 to 2015, created paintings like the Carabao, which show rural Filipino life by depicting farmers at work and the natural landscape. Tabuena highlights the connection between humans and the nature, portraying everyday life realistically. Finally, Jose Blanco, 1932 to 2008, painted Ang Bayanihan, capturing a Filipino community helping one another during tasks or festivals. This detailed depiction of people working together reflects Filipino culture, values, and social life, making it a vivid example of how art imitates reality. These artists demonstrate how the mimetic theory allows art to represent real life, human experiences, and cultural identity, making it meaningful and relatable to viewers. So that's all on my end. I yield the floor to the next presenter.
Thank you so much, Miss Omnos. And now I will be reporting the second major philosophical perspective on art. So which is the expression theory, also known as art as emotion. So this theory suggests that art is a means of expressing emotions. It emphasizes that an artist's primary purpose is to convey their inner feelings and emotion through their artwork. So it is also supported by two philosophers like Benedito Croce and R.G. Collingwood, also known as Robin George Collingwood. So this perspective believes that art should allow the audience to feel and connect with the emotions that the artist experienced while creating the piece. In simple terms, the expression theory tells us that art is not just about how it looks, but about what it makes us feel. Every stroke, color, and shape in a painting can reflect the artist's personal emotions, struggles, or inspirations. So here are the three main points of this theory. First is art serve as a medium form for emotional expression It becomes the artist's outlet to express what cannot be said through words. The second is art. The artist's personal experiences are embedded in their work. Each piece tells a story or emotion that comes from within the artist. So the third is the audience connects with the artist's emotion through the piece. Art becomes powerful when viewers can feel the same emotions that the artist intended to express. So now, let us look at some Filipino examples that show this theory in action. Next slide, please. So, Ang Kyokok from 1931 to 2005. So, his painting Man on Fire expresses anguish and human suffering using distorted figures to convey deep emotions. So, I provided you the painting so you can clearly see the paint. So next is Jose Joya from 1931 to 1995. His abstract works such as Gangian Arabesque use bold colors and textures to evoke emotions rather than depict reality. The last one is H.R. Ocampo, also known as Hernando Ruiz Ocampo, from 1911 to 1978. His paintings, such as Genesis, feature abstract forms and vibrant colors that express energy, emotion, and movement. In conclusion, the expression theory highlights that the true beauty of art lies in emotion. It is through the artist's feelings that art becomes meaningful, powerful, and capable of touching the hearts of its audience. That's all. By the way, I am Miss Jana Rose Camino, and I yield the floor to the next reporter.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rod Cedric Piercy Gantuangco. So today, oh, gago. Oh. So today, I'll be talking about formalism in art. Formalism focuses on the form, structure, and aesthetic elements of an artwork. Things like color, line, shape, rhythm, and composition, rather than the message or story behind it. In other words, what matters most in formalism is how the artwork looks and feels, not what it means. Formalist artists believe that the beauty and emotion of art can be found in its visual elements alone. For example, the balance, harmony, and use of texture or movement can already express something, even without any clear subject or meaning. Here in the Philippines, a great example is Jose Hoya, one of our national artists and a pioneer of abstract expressionism. His work Grenadine Arabesque is a perfect example of formalism. In this painting, Hoya used vibrant colors, bold brushstrokes, and dynamic movement to create visual energy and emotion. There's no clear subject. It's not about a person, a place, or a story, but we can still feel something from its rhythm and composition. That's what formalism is all about, appreciating art through its form and structure, not its message. So, in summary, formalism teaches us that art doesn't always need to tell a story. Sometimes the beauty of colors, lines, and shapes is enough to make it meaningful. Thank you. Next presenter, please.
Next slide. Good morning. I'm Constantine Villarobe, and my topic is institutional theory, art as defined by society and institution. Proposed by George Dickey, argues that some things become art when it's recognized by the art world, museums, critics, curators, and artists. The meaning and value of an artwork depend on social and cultural acceptance, not just on the artist's intent. So what is institutional theory? Imagine you draw a picture of a dog. Is it art? Maybe. But according to this theory, it is only art if the art world says so. The art world is like a big club of museum, galleries, critics, artists, and art historians who decide what gets to be called art. It's not about whether your picture is pretty or tells a story. It's about whether these important people put in a gallery or say so. And it's some example of this, the Filipino example of this. Carlos Botong, a national artist for visual arts, gained institutional recognition for historical murals that celebrate Filipino heritage. Its art became part of a national identity through its preservation and display in museum. The key points of this art is what the artworks it is. Museum, galleries, and critics decide, not just the artist. The meaning of art is socially constructed. It depends on the time, place, and culture. Context is everything. Something ordinary can become art if it's shown in the right setting like museum or festival. So that's my part. I'm done with. So let's proceed to the next presenter, please.
So good morning, everyone. I am Nathaniel John Bosing, and I am here to report about the pragmatic theory of art. So the pragmatic theory of art was introduced by John Dewey, and it focuses on how art connects with real life, or in other terms, the practicality it served in our real life scenarios. So Dewey believed that art is not something separate from everyday living, thus it is part of our human experience. And art becomes meaningful when it affects how we think, feel, and understand the world. So this theory reminds us that art is not just about the beauty, but also about its purpose. It can teach us lessons, it steers our emotions, and help us become more aware of what's happening in our society. Art can also inspire people to act, to change, or simply to see life from a new perspective. And these are the main points of the pragmatic theory. First, human experience lies at the heart of any artistic expression. Art comes from real human emotion and experiences, so it reflects how we live, what we feel, and what we go through life. Second, everyday life is the foundation for creating and appreciating art. Simple daily moments like love, struggle, or joy, or the feelings we feel can inspire artists to create meaningful works that people can relate to. Just like what we did in our first activity, which is we scribble what we feel. So the third one, art help us reflect and develop emotional understanding. When we engage with art, we connect with the feelings of the artist and sometimes discover emotions within ourselves. It's like we are getting meaning in the art itself. So the fourth is art brings awareness and transformation. It makes us think more deeply about society, challenge, challenges us to see things in new ways, often inspiring us to make positive change. Or in other words, we can improve through giving meaning in art. And lastly, art educates and inspires both the creator and the viewer. Through art, people learn, grow, and find motivation. It leaves a lasting impact that goes beyond what we see or hear. And there are, and I will provide 5 Filipino artists that uses this kind of approach or theory. For example, the first one is Lino Broca. Lino Broca used his film to open people's eyes to social issues like poverty and injustice. And the next one is Benedicto Cabrera, or also known as Ben Cab, who painted scenes of ordinary Filipinos showing both their struggles and strength. The next one is Joey Ayala. He uses music to spread awareness about our culture and environment. The next one is Kidlat Tahimik. He tells stories about Filipino identity. And the last one is Botong Francisco. He have murals that teach us history and remind us to be proud of who we are and what we've become today. So that is the pragmatic theory of art. Let's proceed to the next presenter.
So, good morning, guys. I'll present the art as mimesis. So, art as mimesis means that art imitates or represent life. For example, like a painting of a local festival shows the real colors, people, and tradition of that event. For example, Sinolog here in Cebu, it captures how people celebrate and what the festival feels like, helping viewers understand and experience that moment just like seeing it in a real life. So according to Plato, art copy physical reality, which is already an imperfect copy of a perfect idea. So art is twice removed from the truth and can mislead by steering emotion more than a reason. Example, a painting of a sunset copies the real sunset, which itself is only an imperfect version of perfect beauty. So the painting is a twice removed from the true ideal can steer emotion without showing the real truth. And then Aristotle said, however believe art imitates reality but reveal deeper universal truth through particular example. He saw mimesis as a natural way human learn and understand the world, with art providing emotional release and insight, like Filipino artists like Juan Luna and Fernando Hermosolo reflect this, portraying Philippine life and history, showing how art imitates real experience while teaching us about culture. That's all about art as mimesis. I will give the next slide to the next person.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Clancy Reyes, and I will be reporting art as a representation. So, art as a representation, it goes beyond human imitations. So, what is representation? Art representation or representational art is art that depicts recognizable objects, people, and scenes from the real world. It includes style like figurative art, still life, portraits, and landscapes, and can range from highly realistic to more simplified or stylized depictions, as long as the subject is still identifiable. Art as representation entails innovation and interpretation in addition to copying. It embodies not just our visual perceptions but also our emotions and thoughts. Ben Cab's Sabel, for example, is a metaphorical depiction of struggle and optimism rather than a true likeness. The history and spirit of the Filipino people are also reflected in Carlos Francisco's murals. True representation, artists can use their creativity and artistic vision to transform reality. So, representation in art refers to the depiction of recognizable subjects from the real world, such as people, objects, and landscapes, within an artwork. This means the artist intends for the artwork to stand for or signify something tangible, and the viewer is expected to recognize that it represents as object or concept that exists outside the artwork itself. Examples include a portrait of a person, a painting of a landscape, or a sculpture of an animal. So that is all about art as a representation. Thank you so much. This is Clancy Reyes, and on to the next reporter.
Thank you, Cleansy. So, as for my part, before I will start my part, my name is Justin A. Lazaga. So, I'll be the one to report on the art as a communication of emotion. So, as with what Miss Camino had mentioned, art serves as a universal language that communicates human emotions beyond words. So, it allows artists to transform their inner feelings into forms that the viewers can see, hear, and experience. So, this does not only apply into paintings, but other forms of art as well, such as dances, sculptures, and such. So, through this process, art becomes a bridge between the creator and the audience, enabling shared understanding and connection. So, as you can see here in the slide, it shows that it focuses on how art expresses human feelings. It becomes a bridge between the artist and the audience. But before I'll be proceeding to the example artist, I'd like to point out some main points of this category. So, one of which is that art expresses emotion through multiple elements. So with these elements, it enables the artist to showcase different kinds of emotion. So an example of which is that color can be used to suggest joy or passion. An example of this are warm tones. Next is the rhythm and sound. So in music, tempo and melody can mirror excitement, sorrow, or nostalgia. So it depends on how fast the beats per minute on the music is. And then for dance and performance art, for the element of movement, bodily gestures embody emotions ranging from triumph or to despair. So lastly, for the sculpture and painting, so for the element of form and texture, roughness or smoothness of textures conveys intensity or serenity. So majority of these elements can be portrayed or emphasized on the classical arts, no, for the sculptures man or the paintings. So one of the other main point is that the impact of emotion in art is that it communicates art truly alive and meaningful. So there are 4 points in here. So the first is that it allows individuals to feel understood. Also, it validates their own experiences and emotions, whether it may be from the artist or from the understanding of the viewer. Next is that it provides a sense of connection between artist and audience across time and culture. So it allows the audience to relate from what the artist had been feeling. Next is that it inspires action or reflection, moving people toward personal growth, empathy, or even social change. So one of great examples from this is that when we see an editorial cartoonist draw his or her portraits, it allows people to see the issues of the societies. So lastly, for the impact of emotion, it enriches human life by transforming private feelings into shared meaning, contributing to collective identity and cultural heritage. So with this, you can see that there are a lot of people, or there are some people that is unable or kanang hard to communicate their feelings through words, but through the use of arts, they can communicate their private feelings or what they have been thinking about. So going back to the examples of Filipino artists, as you can see, in the Philippines, art has long been a medium of emotional storytelling. So for the first example is Freddie Aguilar. From his song Anak, it demonstrates how melodies and lyrics communicate intense emotions such as love, regret, and parental concern. So the song has touched generations, showing how personal emotions can evolve into collective sentiment. So the viewers can really relate with the song. Then lastly, for the next example is that from the paintings, Anita Magsaysay-ho expressed the dignity, resilience, and beauty of Filipino women through expressive brush strokes, harmonious colors, and thematic portrayals. So you can see from the definition, it uses the elements of color and texture. So her work communicates admiration and respect in a way that resonates deeply with the audience. So from this overall presentation of from for my part, the only thing that you should remember for the art as a communication of emotion is that through color, rhythm, and movement, these elements, art speaks directly to the heart. It allows people to feel connected, understood, and inspired. It is through emotion that art becomes truly alive. So this is Justin Ilazaga, and that is all for my part. And until the next presenter.
So let's proceed to the conclusion. To sum it all up, the different philosophical perspective, which is the mimetic, expression, formalism, institutional, and pragmatic, they show that art has many sides, so it can't be defined by only one meaning. Art can imitate life, express emotion, celebrate beauty, structure, gain meaning through recognition, or serve as a way to inspire others and educate. It can also serve as as the evidence of our history, as stories to tell, and something that we can give meaning to. So for us Filipinos, art is deeply personal and cultural. It reflects who we are, our struggles, our triumphs, and our dreams as a people. Through art, we tell our stories and keep our identity alive. And because in the end, art is a living and powerful force. It connects us with others, shapes our cultures, and reminds us that creativity can inspire understanding, empathy, and change. Art will always be part of what makes us human. And that would be all. Thank you. That's all for our report.